What's going on? Welcome to the next video. In this video, I will be drawing Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. And for this one, uh, my kids, they saw the trailer for the new movie and they wanted me to draw Stitch. So I said, okay, fine, I'll draw Stitch and make a little video. So for this one, what I did was I started out using circles for the shapes of the body. So a big circle for the head and a little smaller oval shape for the body. And I started to kind of round out different shapes since it was a little easy because since it's kind of like a cartoon, it was easy to make shapes for that. And it's kind of almost like a similar process to when they're drawing Disney cartoons. They also use a lot of different shapes to form the animations of the characters to draw them out. And for this one, this was an easy way for me to kind of figure out and picture out a way for me to place in all the body parts. So right now I'm going in and I'm erasing all the lines. And when I erase it like this, I kind of already know where I'm going to go with it. And I'm using the reference also. And this is kind of an easy way for me to know where everything's going to be placed. And it takes a lot of practice to draw in the fine lines after you make the structure. So right now I'm going in, putting in the hair, and I'm kind of making like quick strokes going across. I guess I could make a fine line going across, but I really didn't want to just because I want to be able to make changes and different corrections. So some areas I may go in hard and in some areas I might go in a little light. That way I can kind of easily correct it. And some areas where you would see it light, you'll see me fix it. So right now I'm adding the nose and I'm kind of making the head. And usually I start with the head first. The majority of the time, sometimes I can start with the hand first, depending on the perspective or foreshortening that's used in the particular picture. So I'm working in the eyes. His kind of like his little light fur part of his eye. So it's kind of when it's not colored, it's kind of a way. It's kind of hard to put that in there without like messing it up. Working his little eyebrow. Yeah, I'm not sure when the first movie came out. I think the movie came out in I think it was, I don't know if this, I'm not sure what the date was for it, but I've seen the original movie when it first came out, and everyone pretty much fell in love with this little character, especially how crazy it acts. So right now I'm roughing the little mouth, getting all his little teeth. And sometimes, well, for this particular one, I put sometimes you can put the teeth in first, but I like to outline the mouth. That way I'll know where it will go. I mean, I can make like a long line going across to know where the mouth is, but I kind of just like to form the general shape of the mouth depending on if they're smiling or mad. I like to outline the emotion of the mouth, then start working my way into putting it together and adding in details into it, rather than just making a line straight across and then drawing around that. I want to just get the emotion of the mouth first, and then start to work my way out to the fine details. Right now I'm finishing up adding in this little crease for his eye. This little, I guess that's a little, kind of like a little, I don't know what they call that, little cat crease he has on the bottom of his nose. Had to add that. And now for his teeth, I know that sometimes people have a hard time drawing teeth on different things and especially with people and animals. But for this particular drawing or this particular style of the cartoon, since his teeth is so big, it's easy to draw that in. And since he doesn't really have that many teeth anyways, it was easy to draw that. But majority of the time when you're drawing, teeth on people and different things, sometimes you can exaggerate the teeth where you're seeing almost like a line there. Nobody usually depends on how detailed the picture is, as far as how the teeth will look. I mean, I know in comic book styles, depending on the variety of styles that they are, um, you can have teeth that are not as detailed, just for the artist to quickly draw it out without spending too much time on the drawing or spending too much time on the panel. So right now I'm outlining the body. And when you see me doing the body here, you see that even though the outline were round shapes, now that I know where the shapes are, especially seeing it faded in the drawing, I know where to place all the lines, like all the curves, and you can kind of play around with it. So you can see how I'm a little more fluid with how the lines are, because I already know where the arm is going to be. So if the shape is straight with the arm, then when I'm drawing it, after I make it lighter and go over it with the fine lines, I can just play around with the shapes and curve it around and give it some weird angles to make it organic. Adding in his foot with the weird toes that he has. And the little curves. And this character has a lot of circles and curves. Kind of what makes up this character. Working my other side. See, I'm just curving it around. Trying to make his other hand. And he has some large claws, so I'm just going across with that to kind of. I don't know why his claws are so big, but I guess for him to get into trouble, he needs to destroying stuff. There's the other foot. And usually it's tricky doing these type of sketches, especially when I know a lot of the sketches you see me do are I do a lot of cross hatching, only because that's like one of my favorite styles to do. You probably I'll do a little bit in this one, but it's an easy way for me to shade and get the lines in, the shading in a little faster. I'm getting in his eyes, so I start using it. And sometimes when I want to darken certain areas of the eye, I can, like, I'm cross hatching it right now in one direction, and then I can cross hatch it. I can do it in another direction to make it darker. But this pencil can make lines light and dark. So, I mean, the lead can, and that's why I'm able to use the same pencil for making light and dark lines. So right now I'm just outlining it, darkening everything that needs to be darkened. His hair. Now I'm working his ears in. His ears, I didn't need to make shapes for those, only because the ears are already a huge solid shape. So it was easy for me to just go ahead and just draw it out the way it is without having to plan it out first. So I just drew it real light, and just go over it with another pass multiple times to darken those lines up. And same thing for the other side. Like the shape for the ear, just drawing the lines out the way I see it on the reference. Same way as the rest of the body. A lot of curves. So the other ear was kind of like near his mouth. So I kind of just drew that in there, added his little, a little slice in his ear. At this point, I'm fairly done with the picture. And so right now I'm just going in and just darkening everything up, outlining everything, making sure it's darker. Usually, even at this point, well, I have a lot of cross-hatching in there, but if I didn't have cross-hatching, I would have started to color it. And I may start doing some coloring pieces soon. I haven't done too many coloring pieces because I know it takes a lot of time to add colors to it. So that's why a lot of my pieces I've been making videos of have been black and white sketches. And I'm just adding shade to everything that needs shade to it, like the nose, the eyes, the inside of his mouth. Just give it a little bit of depth. I had to darken his teeth because the shading inside the mouth was starting to take away from the teeth, so I had to darken that up just so that you can see it better. I'm adding a little shadow to his little design on his back. I didn't want to cross hatch it too much because I didn't want to lose the way the picture looked and have it look too crazy. So I just added just a minimal shading. I may eventually go back and color it up. You never know. Yeah, but that's it for this video. Want to see more like this? Like button, subscribe. Take care.